Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. For those of you that are tuning in to the review, I am going to be your host, Johnny Mac. Today's video, we are going to be exploring a little bit of the depths, quote unquote, a little play on words, of the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard trial. Now, for those of you that don't know, or maybe those of you that do, Johnny Depp was basically deemed the winner of this case, and we're going to be going over one particular reaction to the verdict. Find it very interesting. It is of no surprise that depending on what side of the aisle that you're on, either you really liked the outcome of the trial or you did not. Now, it doesn't really matter if you're Team Johnny or Team Amber. What is interesting, at least as far as I'm concerned, is that this was a very important case. And we'll talk a little bit more in detail about that at the end of this review, so stay tuned until the very end of the video because we have some very interesting points to make and some good arguments to have. And by all means, if you agree or disagree with anything that I say in this video, leave the comments down below. And also, if you want to have any other further discussions on this topic and many of the other ones that are going to be coming in the future, feel free to follow me on Twitter. As a matter of fact, I was just having a discussion about this morning. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into this reaction, I guess you would say.
Yeah, we're here with Sydney Porter. You are, first of all, tell me where you live, or where you're from.
I'm from Maryland.
From Maryland. What brings you down here today? And I see your sign, you say you stand with Amber Heard. Walk me through your reaction to this verdict.
It's really disappointing, mainly on of what it will mean for later victims who are coming forward. There's several cases that are coming out with.
Okay, so let's stop right there. So essentially the whole basis of this Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard case is that Johnny Depp was a victim of domestic violence, correct? And Amber Heard was trying to plead the case that she was the victim of domestic violence. However, depending, it doesn't even matter what side you were on, quote unquote, side anyway. One lawyer team made the case and was able to support it. The other one was not. In this particular case, Johnny's team was able to make and support their case. And the reason why we know this is because the jury ruled in favor of Johnny Depp. So Johnny Depp was indeed a victim of domestic violence. But what's interesting here, in just the first 22 seconds of this video, she automatically stripped Johnny of being a victim because he's a man. And how do we know this? Well, we know this because, she's wearing the little LGBTQ scarf or bandana, whatever the heck you want to call it. And obviously she's probably a feminist, which makes things even worse. And this fits directly into the Believe All Women movement, which is equally as horrible as just about anything else, because basically you are calling every single man in the world a liar. So let's go ahead and get further on into this, shall we?
Evan Rachel Wood, Marilyn Manson, F.K. Twigs, and Shia LaBeouf. There's already been survivors who have complained about their abusers saying oh, you're just gonna pull an Amber on me and things like that. So it's sad seeing the effect that it's going to have, but I also think that it doesn't really make sense in terms of the evidence, just because you can see that Depp's career was kind of already on the downturn from his alcoholism and not...
Hearsay. So here she's trying to seem like she's a lawyer, right? We live in an age of professional opinionators, is what I've been dubbing it for the past few years. Professional opinionators. They like to believe that they are more smart than what they actually are. What's interesting here is that she says, well, I find it hard to believe, blah, 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 due to the evidence. It's as if she was living in a hole in the ground. She is apparently unaware that via a jury of their peers, Amber Heard was found wanting and not able to prove her case. Johnny, on the other hand, was not found lacking and was able to prove his case. So apparently she missed the boat and fell straight into the water. But let's continue.
You know, learning his script and things like that. But then you see how her career has changed, how she was almost kicked out of Aquaman because of what happened. So I feel like in that case, it was very specific.
Also, very interesting here to note, she is lacking in detail. She did not get almost kicked out of Aquaman because of what happened between her and Johnny Depp. She actually, and this was confirmed by Jason Momoa, as well as other independent articles, that she was almost kicked out of Aquaman due to her lack of chemistry with Jason Momoa. So once again, some more details that are being skewed to support what she's trying to spew out of her mouth. Continue.
Defamation. So whether or not people believed all of her allegations, I think that part was very explicit. So I'm surprised, but kind of not surprised.
Can you walk me through what prompted you to want to come down here, to be outside, to be here, especially today as the verdict was read?
Knowing that there wasn't really anyone else out here for her. Like, everyone's wanted to talk to me because I'm the only one out here. And really, there's only been like 2 or 3 other people who have been outwardly for Heard. So, and I was thinking of coming here, but I was very nervous about the crowds. And then I saw there was like an altercation one day, but on Twitter they were like, we need someone to hold this banner. So I was like, I live nearby, I'll volunteer and come out since I've been wanting to. I kind of saw it as a sign to finally just come out.
What do you see as what's next? I mean, just a big picture, or specifically with this, what do you think anything can come out of this that you might think? I know Amber Heard did not necessarily win a full-throated victory here today, but what do you view as what's next?
I'm hoping that there's something that she can do, like maybe an appeal. I don't really know how it works this way, but if she could appeal, that would be nice. And then, because I think that something really needs to be done with abusers using the court system to continue to abuse their victims. And I really feel like that's what this was. Like, he promised her.
Did I miss something? Amber Heard tried to use the court system to parade around and force her charade on the entire world. The part that really did it for me was whenever the experts were pulled up on the metadata for the photos that were clearly altered. Interesting.
Total global humiliation, and that's what he's giving her. So I really hope that, even though the Me Too movement was very slow in saying anything in support for her, I hope that they can work against.
Key point. Probably the best point she's made the whole time. The Me Too movement was slow in showing support for her. That's kind of an understatement. There's kind of a reason why, the powers that be that are supporting these movements, they want to make sure that somebody has a leg to stand on before they get discredited. Unfortunately for Amber Heard, she did not have a leg to stand on, and that's part of the reason, everybody wants to pinpoint her legal team. Granted, her legal team was not very good. This is true. However, it wouldn't have mattered the legal team, really, because things are always better when you have the truth on your side and that you actually have details that you can prove. When you don't have either of those, you look really stupid. Just saying. Let's continue.
The narrative that has been made here. So
thank you so much for your time.
So the narrative that has been made here. About the only thing that I can really say about the narrative that has been made here on behalf of this young lady was that she really needs to get her act together and get her details together, because here's the thing. So clearly a supporter of Believe All Women. To sit there and say that a woman cannot physically abuse a male is just asinine. And I'm sorry if I offend anybody whenever I say a, woman abusing a man, or, the proper pronouns is an ever-changing dynamic that I just am ignorant to, I guess. But I will say that this was a very important case for Johnny Depp to win. And I'm not saying that as a man. I am saying that it was a very important case for men and women alike, simply because, number one, Amber Heard is a discredit and a disgrace to women who are victims of domestic violence. Real victims, not imaginary, not made up, but real victims. And the fact that Johnny Depp won by challenging the farcity that is the Me Too movement, he stands as an icon to men everywhere. Because I can honestly say, as I've known male victims of domestic violence in the past, it is hard to prove. Let's give an example. You have big guru female boss, and then you have lowly male worker, right? Female boss takes an interest in lowly male worker, and lowly male worker decides that, he's getting really, really uncomfortable. Perhaps he's a family man, has a family, has a lot to lose. Well, what if his female big time boss decides that she wants something a little bit more, and then all of a sudden decides that she's going to get it? Well, all of a sudden the worker, the man worker, is put into a position where he feels that unless he says yes and complies with his, big time female boss, he's going to lose his job and possibly even more. However, here's the problem. So say, for instance, he goes further up the chain and tries to present his information and says, hey, big female boss has been, severely inappropriate with me and yada, yada, yada. Then she's interviewed. And then she says, oh, no, it wasn't me. It was him. Well, in this day and age, according to Believe All Women, the man is automatically going to be the one getting accused. No one's going to believe the man. They're going to believe the woman, right? So how is that fair? Well, the fact of the matter is it's not fair. But this is part of the day that we live in. And this is what the Me Too movement wants. This is what the Believe All Women movement wants. And it's it's a really tragic state of affairs that we live in. So the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard case is extremely important because he challenged the establishment. He challenged the notion that a man can step up for himself and win, because a lot of people up until now thought that if a man stood up for himself, he would not win. However, it's turned out to not be true. Now, granted, many people are going to place their arguments and say, oh, well, it's only because he had better lawyers and this, that, and the other. And okay, you can make those arguments all you want. But the fact of the matter is that the jury of his peers ruled in favor of Johnny Depp and ruled in favor of what was able to be proven by his legal team. Simple as that. Now, granted, Amber Heard might be able to appeal and all this other stuff, but, we'll see. We'll see how it pans out. Let me know what you guys thought about the results of the case, and let me know what you thought about any of my particular points. Let me know down in the comments below. Let's go ahead and have a narrative. Let's talk this out and see what you guys think. And if you're not currently subscribed, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so that way you can be notified whenever I make future uploads on this channel. There's going to be quite a few interesting topics. I plan on covering a little bit of everything between, current politics, trends, technology, Elon Musk, Johnny Depp possibly in the future, because I have a feeling we're not going to be hearing the last of this. And also, follow me over on Twitter. I'll be posting over there just about every single day, as well as current trends and so forth. I think we have a lot of good material for you coming up. So I hope to see you next time, and take care.